Hello friends, thank you for joining me today. I am painting in Wilson, North Carolina at Barnes Corner Gallery. And I'm doing a painting, let me show you, of a Krispy Kreme restaurant, I guess. Can you call it a restaurant? A restaurant that only serves donuts? That's probably not true. I bet they sell something else. Soft drinks. Oh, okay. We're trying to get...
Nope.
You do it. I'm already broadcasting. So let's get our good, strong, abstract shapes. We got here and discovered that getting connected to the internet is turning out to be more of a challenge than we had expected. Such is life. What time was it when I started? That's all caps. Did you mean to do all caps? Oh, that's... So just at 3 hours to capture this image. For those of you who don't know, perhaps, the Krispy Kreme is... The original Krispy Kreme is in Raleigh, North Carolina. Or at least maybe it's the longest standing. I don't know if it's the original, but it's a very famous sign. Their sign is more famous than their restaurant. And even though I'm, 45 miles, 50 miles from Raleigh, as I stand here today, still it's a very popular landmark even for people that live here in Wilson. Pronouncing that incorrectly on purpose, in jest. Somebody here in this town actually sells a t-shirt that says I'm from Wilson, and it's spelled out phonetically, W-I-L-T-S-E-N. Real cute. And let's be sure to put a couple people standing in, walking past, and several people walking in. All right. Graduating now to pencils. Hello. Oh, good. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yay. My wife had to come to my rescue and get my monitor hooked up. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you. I don't think I have too much to try to keep my paint off you.
You doing okay?
Very good. Good to see you. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've already put a little cash down on this one.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
It's my favorite.
Thank you.
You doing all right?
Very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I look over.
Shouldn't complain. Still do it sometimes, but shouldn't. I've got nothing serious to complain about. That's right. That's right. So, when you were a kid, did you drive to Krispy Kreme?
Yeah.
Did you go?
That's where the first place that's why I like this so much. That's the first Krispy Kreme donut I ever ate was there.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're not the only one. Yeah. That's funny. And that's a bit of drive for you guys, you know.
Back then,
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't no 264.
Oh, no, you went through Lizard Lick and Wendell,
Yeah,
Zebulon, downtown.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I made that drive not too long ago.
Did you really? Just for
old
fun?
time's sake.
Are you serious?
I had to go to Lizard Lick to see a client.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I'm taking from Bailey all the way out, I'm taking old 264.
That's funny.
It took me forever to get there.
That's funny. I enjoy doing that. Nancy, not so much, but I enjoy getting off the freeway and taking the back roads more than Nancy does. But yeah, I still think that's fun for a while if you're not in a hurry. My, when you're painting this size, this is about as small a painting as I can stand to do. Now I do smaller ones, but I can't stand it. This is 18 by 24, and I really don't like getting any smaller than that. But I have learned that you can paint faster if you're painting a small painting. Doesn't take as long, that is for sure. Trees up here. Now I don't have my monitor functioning yet, so I might not be able to catch all of y'all's comments, which would be very disappointing. D-O-U-G-H, donuts spelled the old-fashioned way, spelled the right way, not the corrupted way. And that's, ironically, there's no cars parked in this photograph, but I'm going to add some cars. Just like I'm going to add some people. A dog. This would be a good painting for a dog. Now, over the years, I have done this Krispy Kreme 6 or 7 times, and I might be forgetting a couple. Quite a few times, anyway. Well, we don't seem to have any internet. I'm so sorry, folks. Let me just go back and see if we can get ourselves hooked up now. Nope. Oh, phooey. My wife spent no little amount of time trying to get us hooked up, and evidently we didn't quite make it. So. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Shift my order slightly. Normally at this point I would do glazes, but there's too much wet paint on that canvas, and I don't want to just sit around and wait. So I'm going to actually add more wet paint. How is that counterintuitive for you? Too much wet paint, so I'm going to add more.
Very large quotation marks around that plan, but I think there's more. Well,
Yep.
the parking lot.
I'm going to try this one more time. There are a few things about this keyboard that I distinctly dislike. I'm talking about my newly adopted iPad down there.
They give us periodic updates.
Okay. Okay, Krispy Kreme, K-R-I-S. I'm not really spelling. I'm just look like it. D-O-U-G-H-N-U-D-S.
Their most recent
D-O-U. Let's do that again. G-H-N-U-T-S. There. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. Close enough. So I'm just going to try to catch you guys' comments. And I'm sorry that I won't get them all, because I don't know if you notice, I'm busy painting. So my wonderful system that's been in operation for 2 days, we've already discovered a weak link, which doesn't work if we can't get on Wi-Fi. I feel pretty strongly like that's not true, but I don't have the time right now to fix it. I feel like my iPad should be able, like my phone, to connect directly to the cell cable to the internet, right? Without Wi-Fi. Correct. But unfortunately, I'm so new to my iPad that I don't even know how to do that. So that shows you how rank beginner I am at driving my iPad. Oops, and now we're getting bad sound. Isn't that strange? So sometimes the having the power plugged in causes static, and sometimes it doesn't. So we were good for the last 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it started making noise. Isn't that just a mystery? Okay, cars, people, dog, and windows. All kinds of dark things. Dark windows, dark cars, dark people. It sounds like I'm making a very strange comment. I'm not. I'm just talking like an artist. Okay, more cars. Let's do some trees while we're at it. This photograph, I took the photograph myself, and it was clearly taken in winter time when there's no leaves on the trees. And I think I'll stick with that because I sort of like the bare tree look. Tend to prefer, in paintings, bare trees over foliated trees. I think I'm making up a word there. Trees with foliage on them. And that's not foliated, don't you think that shouldn't that be a word? Maybe it is, and I don't know it. All right, tell you what, I'm going to step away from my canvas for just a minute. I'm going to let it continue to broadcast, but I'm going to take my iPad over to my wife. It never did. Try it again. You walked away and it said.
Well, it said it did.
Right. All right. Giving her that assignment. See if she can get us online. Now, I'm going to try something a little bit dangerous. if you can call anything in the painting realm dangerous. No part of my body should be injured in the production of this painting. Okay, artistically dangerous, you know. You know what I mean. It's dangerous because I'm at risk of just what's happening is messing up everything that's already on the canvas. See, it's not glazes if you put one wet color into another wet color. Those are not glazes. That's all. What I'm giving you here is a lesson in why you normally wait until the previous layer dries before you proceed. But again, I am in such a hurry tonight because of my schedule. I don't really feel like I can wait, so let's just try painting in a new way. Let's take an adventure. Come on, Nelson, where's your sense of adventure? For you newcomers, this is not the Dan Nelson approved method of painting. So, but let me make the serious point. If you put in acrylics, let's just stay with acrylics for a minute. If you put down one color of acrylic.
It looks to me like it's
okay.
on my hand. And I didn't have to put the password in, so there you have it. It did show up finally on down there.
So hang on, bear with me for a minute. We're going to try to get my monitor set up so that I can see all of you make your clever comments. Bear with me. Hey, zine revolution, eh? I agree. So if you put down one color in acrylics, and then you come back and put a second, and here I'm just limiting myself even to transparent colors, but any color would work. You put down one color, and if you put down a second color before that first color is dry, what you get is perhaps a fascinating mess, but you don't get the same degree of visual complexity, visual richness that you do if you wait for the first layer to dry and come back. So again, and if perhaps any of you are trying to follow or emulate, be influenced by my technique somewhat, please make sure you understand that very important principle. For instance, everybody knows that yellow and blue mix green, right? So in glazes, if you put down a yellow glaze, and then before it dries, if you followed up with a blue glaze, those two wet glazes will mix with each other. They'll combine, right? And you'll get a green color. You with me? If, however, that's not the way I paint. If, however, you put down a yellow glaze and then wait for it to dry, and you come back and do a blue glaze on top of the yellow, indeed, yes, you still do get a kind of green, but it's much more complex. It's much more complex green than if you do what I said earlier, if you mix them wet on the canvas. So this painting right here, what I've been doing so far, is not a typical Dan Nelson painting. For instance, this corner, right up, see, interesting colors, sure enough, but that's only one glaze. That if we wait for that to dry and then do other colors on top of it, we will get, in fact, more interesting colors than that. But this was one time where I just didn't feel like I had the time to wait because of schedule. Didn't have time to wait for that to dry. So in that case, we're doing experiment. Every painting is an experiment. I said that this morning already one time. Every painting is a little bit of an adventure because at least I don't do exactly the same thing. Try little things. So evidently that's what I'm trying this afternoon, even though it was against my better judgment and in spite of my protestations. That is in fact what I'm doing. White, opaque white acrylic into wet acrylics without any protest. Of the paint mixing on the canvas. Does that make sense? Now, I used to back in the old days, I used to wait for the color to dry before I discovered, as I said, I was missing an opportunity for some. It looks to me like our internet here might be somewhat spotty, lost connections. So my phone's doing well though, which is actually my Mevo camera is doing well, I should say. And the Mevo camera is not connected to Wi-Fi. It's talking directly to the cell towers and satellites. In other words, the Mevo camera is its own hotspot. Very thankful for that at the moment because that seems to be working much better than. And if I knew how to drive an iPad better, I would know how to get it off Wi-Fi altogether. But that's my focused attention, as you can tell, that's exactly one thing I don't have right now. Feel the real people get priority. Got my computer up and running. Good, it's playing legal music for me. So far so good. I'm done doing the white. That all the colored stuff should be dry. And then I can do glazes on top of that. I'm getting an awful lot of drawing done in a without a lot of second guessing and correcting, just plowing forward, if you will. Okay, let's do some cars. I'm going to forget the people for the moment. I'm going to add them on top of the cars later. Let's paint a little bit in layers. Okay, I think I'm done with the white, and I am clearly, the colors underneath are clearly not dry. As I just had finished saying, I was hoping they would be dry. They clearly are not dry. So I may have to take a little break here after all. So I'm going to do, again, breaking with my normal routine. I'm going to do pencils again. Well, hello. Good to see you. Oh, thank you.
Are you gonna give a talk or?
No,
Like
I'm broadcasting on YouTube. That's what this is about. But I'm here to talk to you guys most, not them. They all know there's real people here, so and the real people get priority. Oh, thank you.
my favorite things.
Good.
Well, on his way over here. He'll be finished before 8 o'clock.
All right, so once again, breaking with the normal protocol. Come back and do, while I'm waiting for things to dry, let's come back and do pencils again. Because the pencils don't add any water to the canvas. Does that make sense? Not making the canvas wetter by adding pencil to it. And there's several things I can draw. I can draw a person, these people walking by, walking their dog, and draw that dog again. And typically whenever I draw one person, I draw two. Just to be friendly. Human lowliness. then I might do one person all by themselves. But most of the time, that is not the point. I get a kick out of so many artists in the 20th century that feel it's their duty to tell all the rest of humanity all the bad things, pain and agony, and so on. I think it's so stupid. Oh, I'm sorry. I was being a little too blunt there. Correct. No, the internet is repeatedly failing. Haven't got it to work for more than 2 minutes. So I think their internet next door is spotty so unfortunately it's not working. Yeah. Talking to my wife there about our iPad not functioning. So sorry about that, folks. We have done all we can that I can think. Well, unless she knows how to get it, but she's not a techie. She operates wonderfully in her narrow band of knowledge, which does not include technology. So I'm not going to even bother her with the question. We all do that, by the way. We all operate within our bands, within our narrow bands of expertise. Happiness is getting old and discovering you don't have to be good at everything. You're not going to be good at everything, no matter what. You try. And the good news is you take that pressure off yourself. Yahoo! Well, truly, one of the joys about maturity. It's like, oh, you mean I have to be good at everything? Oh, what a relief. I'm exhausted from trying.
Look at the master painter over here.
Well, when I get tired, I'm turning over to you. That's Peggy, the owner of the gallery. She's a very capable painter, very good painter. Okay, I already drew this traffic light up here once. Now I'm drawing it the second time because it got wiped out somewhere along the way. That's just kind of par for the course in the way I paint. Loose and messy, folks. Oh, a sign here. That's a traffic sign. That would be a nice touch. At the corner of Person and Peace. What a great name, Person of Peace. 2 streets. And now I'm seeing your comments are coming in late. Hi, David. Good to see you again. And the camera's cutting off. I think it might be because of bad internet, and I'm not sure I can do any better than that. I don't think it has to do with how close I get to it, though. I don't think that's related. But thanks for letting me know that it's cutting in and out. Now I'm going to take some dry brushes and do this. So that does two things. Number one, it'll dry more quickly. And the other thing it does is it creates fascinating energy lines on the painting. Lines of energy, strokes of energy. That's why you have to do it fast. You can't do it slow. Slow lines will look horrid. But I think if I'm very careful now, I can do a little bit more glazing on here. It certainly does need some. Can want to warm it up a good bit with the yellow and orange, including up there in the sky. There. That's nice. I had to tell you that just in case you didn't realize that was nice. Most of you are a little bit frightened. Like, ooh, he's ruined it now. Which is truly possible. It's possible I have ruined it now. I'm not above ruining a painting. Trust me. Now, let's do some back to dark details. So in spite of all the challenges, I think I'm making some progress on this painting. What a mess, huh? If you already placed a bid on it, I hope he's going to go erase his earlier bid.
No, I would take it like that. Just because you did.
Yeah.
Any more weddings?
No. Do I have any? Do I need any more?
Oh.
Yeah, I need lots.
I wonder if you'd done any lately since we last saw you.
Oh, yeah. But it's been a couple weeks. The last one was a couple weeks ago, and I don't have another one until middle January. So.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, if you know anybody getting married, send them my way.
I will. Hey, y'all.
So in a few minutes here, when I finish these dark details, now of course, my canvas is just almost sopping wet. I'm sure you can understand that, right? But I can do small bits like this, as you see me doing. I can do details without destroying the painting too badly. Only destroying it ever so slightly. We try to keep our destruction to a minimum. Hello. Hello. Good to see you again. Okay, back to the tree. Very distinctive tree shape here. Whoops, the tree does not go down there. It's every once in a while I do something I do think is a good idea to fix. Not usually though. like darkening that corner a little bit. It's a nice improvement. Yeah, makes the sign stand out a little bit more. Hello. Very good. You want to finish? You're not dressed for it.
Now, are you Dan?
I am Dan.
Okay,
Tell me your name again.
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
I
Good to
met
see
you
you.
the last time
Yes.
you were showing, and I was very impressed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for coming back again.
Well, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. Hi, David. Yes, you have abused me enough today. I just saw that comment now. I know you sent it a while ago. Sorry about that. Good to have your abuse. You can't be abused by your friends. Who can be abused by, huh? So where things are going now, again, this is the wettest, just about the wettest acrylic underpainting I've ever done. Just trying to keep painting and do whatever I can do that will do the least damage to what I've just done. And after I'm finished with this layer right here, I'm going to do a second layer of white, which again, you can do white into wet paint with impunity. I like that word. Hello. Are you a budding artist? You're watching me like you're a wannabe artist, budding artist. Good for you.
I'm amazed that you painted with both hands.
I know. That's my only lesson. If you like to draw, start drawing with two hands. I didn't start till I was old. Hello. Good. Hi, Millie.
Well, this is really going to be interesting. Watch. Were you impotent in other ways?
No, I wasn't until I started forcing myself to paint with two hands about 10 or 12 years ago. But I should have started 50 years ago. I think everybody should paint with two hands. Yeah, almost. You can paint faster. Not quite twice, but definitely faster.
Where do you live? Where you from?
Raleigh.
Where?
Raleigh, yeah. Yes, I painted this batch here. Good to see you again.
All right, how's it going?
So you all were excited?
One thing.
Not only are you painting with your non-dominant hand, but you're doing it at the same time.
Yes, yeah, right.
It's a whole nother.
Yes. Well, look, every piano player you know uses two hands. Guitar player, drummer, sax player, almost all musicians use two hands. No big deal, right? The artists could do it if they just knew they should. Okay, then some shadows down here. Then I think I'm ready to go to white, and then after the white, I'll take a break and we go to oil. Yahoo! So I don't know if we're on schedule or not, but gonna do oil. Gonna do what? Oh wait. No, there's one thing I have to do. I have to do these stoplights up here. I keep losing my stoplights. I paint them and then lose them, and then paint them again and lose them again. So this time, if I paint them orange, yellow, maybe I'll remember that they're up there. Okay, now white. And this is one of those times, if I had a heat gun with me or a hair dryer, I would indeed use it.
The people at home are wondering if you know where a handsaw or a ready chainsaw is for the Christmas tree. It was cut, but it's already done.
Woodman saw. There's one hanging on the saw cart, and there's a Woodman saw just inside the garage door by the tools. Yep. I'm counting on something tonight, and that is that usually when I'm in a great big hurry, I tend to paint better. Now, of course, that only goes so far, right? You get too fast, it begins to reverse on you. But I'm hoping that I'm painting very fast tonight. I want to have this done in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and do a good job. It goes without saying. The do a good job part goes without saying. But it is true. So when you paint under the gun, often you paint better because you don't have the luxury of overworking stuff. I try to, when I'm teaching a live art class, I'm saying that to the students all the time. Okay, I give them, okay, I say, now you've got 45 seconds to do this, or you have 3 minutes to do this, or you have 5 minutes to do that. And of course, they are all typical student artists. They want to take 10 times that amount of time on everything that I say. And it irritates them to some degree, but it is my job to be there to pull them up to a level of artistry that they never thought they could achieve. And painting fast is part of that part of that process. And here I am, of course, having to do the very same thing that I'm trying to get my students to do. Paint faster, paint faster. Good. I think my right? Close enough. Good. It's nice when things like that work out. Letter spacing is one of those things. The letters don't need to be legible, but the spacing needs to be believable. There, you can even read that word, can't you? Coffee. Just in case any of you need a little help. Now, let's come up to the sky again. And negative paint these trees, bare trees. So this is a little different I guess you could say there's sky holes in bare trees, but it's not quite the same, right? I'm looking at my reference and using it to a degree. I'm not going to slavishly try to copy branch for branch, of course, but I'm trying to let myself be influenced by the shapes instead of just painting out of my head. When you paint out of your head, your brain shrinks. I'm not speaking literally, of course, speaking allegorically. But the way you make your brain grow, if you will, is by putting stuff into it. You get the idea? If you paint out of your head, stuff is going out your brain, your head shrinks. You make your head get bigger, again, I speak allegorically, by putting stuff into it. And the way you put stuff into your head as an artist is by looking, and is the hard work of being an artist. The setting sun is unusually lit a photograph because we're looking almost straight west into a setting sun, which is normal, but there you go. There's an exception for every rule, even though it's unconventional lighting. Just a little bit more up here in the sky. Keeping a pretty careful eye on the composition. Light, sort of a C shape, I think, like that. All right, I'm going to call that quits. You know, I could keep noodling it, but of course, noodling is usually the enemy of good painting. So I'm going to stop right there. And let me see if I've missed some comments here. Do you think my camera turns off when my Bluetooth earpiece gets close to the camera? That's funny. Well, I will certainly check it out, David. All right, so, all right, just about ready to go now in oil. Oh my goodness. David, no, I'm just seeing David's comment now about temperature 4 below in Fahrenheit in Quebec. No, it's going to get cold here tomorrow, but that means 33, close to freezing. You're close to zero. Below zero, we're close to freezing. Yeah, cool, but decided not to. We start with warm. Whoa. Look at it. There. That's nice now. That was amazing. Wow. Again, this is as you can see, probably, it's an evening painting, sun going down.
The movement down here,
The what?
the movement down here.
Uh-huh.
It looks figurative to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Two, at least two figures and a dog.
Okay.
Right, right. Sure. Thanks. All right. So there's my warm. Now let's come back and do cool on top of that. Just phthalo with dirty brushes. So didn't clean the brushes at all. Some ultramarine for the shady side of this building. Yeah, that looks good. And then some ultramarine for the cast shadows over here. There we go. See, isn't that a fast way? Isn't that a fast way to work out your large value areas? A little more blue up here, I decided.
And he's a neutral.
Yeah.
So that's why he likes to paint his back, everybody.
That's right. Okay, now lift out stuff for lightness.
He messes it up. He doesn't matter. What's going to be out? But we're fine. We're all sitting in the
Good. A liquid, it's a medium that you mix with oil. This particularly, there's 100 mediums. This one makes it dry faster and transparent. All right, that's pretty good. The major composition is finished. Light, a curve, an arc of light through the middle, through the left side of the painting, dark over here. Trying to decide how much of this stuff do I want to lift out. So far, that's a very fast way to paint, don't you think? It's nice if it works. All right, now, typically at this point, it's either draw with pencils or draw with brushes, dark transparent paint. Different every time. I think I'm going to go with pencils. And again, there might be somebody new watching, so forgive me, you regulars, while I repeat myself again. The purpose for the pencils is twofold. As you would expect, the pencils are a definite aid in similitude. I just realized I forgot to put a street sign up there, so I want to add that. The pencils are a fast way for rendering your subject matter, right? As you would expect. But more important than that, the pencils make an interesting texture. They provide an interesting counter to the kind of marks that the brushes make. Or as I like to say, it's scratchy pencil, how the scratchy pencil interplays with smooshy paint. The paint's kind of smushy, the pencils are kind of scratchy, and I like the way they look when they're in juxtaposition to each other. So that's the main reason I use the pencils, rather loosely, in a scribbly fashion, because it's not primarily about realism or similitude, it's primarily about texture. Thanks, David. Appreciate it, my friend. Or what you mean is you were a professional and now you're becoming a student. Hello, welcome back. Sorry about that. So we lost power on our Mevo camera, even though it's plugged into an external battery pack. So such things do happen, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go as long as we can. It turns out the Mevo camera really does burn up a lot of energy, and sometimes the battery packs literally cannot keep up with how quickly the camera burns up energy. So we'll just do the best we can and broadcast as long as we can. So I've just been doing pencils for the last couple of minutes since we left you. There, done with pencils. Now, yes, I'm going to do the normal thing, for me, the normal thing, which is now draw dark details. Wait. Yep. Draw. I'm always open to changing my mind, trying something new. Nope, I'm going to do the same old today. So dark details with transparent, of course, dark. That means it's transparent. Dark, opaque is mud. And just anything in the world that I want darker, including these power lines. A little bit of tree branches, not much. They are just about as dark and defined as they need to be. The stoplights, I'm going to have the green light on, which is the bottom one. That's the kind of thing you have to learn when you're an artist, is the order of the traffic lights, in case you'd never noticed before. Most of you have, I'm sure, but red's at the top, green's at the bottom. In fact, I think we had to learn that for driver's ed, don't you? Didn't you have to learn that? In case you're colorblind, you have to know what order the lights are in. I'm sorry, officer, I'm colorblind. It's not a valid excuse, I understand. So just in case you're counting, I don't know what layer this is, but that's roughly the 5th time that I've rendered those trees, those bare tree branches. And of at least 1 or 2 more layers to go. And don't they look like bare trees against a dusky sky? I think they do. Dusky, D-U-S-K-Y, dusky. Twilight-ish sky. Not quite, a little bit lighter than twilight, in my opinion. But who's counting? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's the one that's going to be optional.
Yes. It's right there. You
Who
can.
doesn't love Krispy Kreme?
That's right. That's right.
The hot sign, the hot light.
Oh yeah, I need to have the hot light on. And
That
it.
was the old one. They didn't have the hot sign. That was
Oh,
before
you
the
are
di-
right.
Before the digital.
I've
days.
heard that. I've heard that. Well, I'll add it in here anyway. Yeah, there's a sign that says "Hot Now," and I would have forgotten that if that lady hadn't said that. So I'm glad she pointed that out. Okay, now. Krispy, Kreme.
That I had
Oh,
on
what- oh,
FaceTime in
Oh, was it really?
yeah, he's in Fort Myers.
No
Florida.
kidding.
And
How
he's
fun.
Sitting on his back porch. They just got their first Krispy Kreme down there, and that Krispy Kreme broke the all-time Krispy Kreme record. In the first month, they sold over 1 million.
Are you serious?
And we went and got some while we were down there.
Uh-huh.
And like at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, and they were wrapped around the building. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. It's like
Where's Fort Myers? Which side of the
it's
state?
On the Gulf.
The
Coast.
Gulf side.
Yes, just it's
That's
below town.
funny. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
funny.
said, "Man, I got to cut the fireplace on." He said, "It's 72 down here tonight." He said, "I got a little nippy."
One of my friends who was watching me a little while ago is from Quebec. It's 4 below zero Fahrenheit.
You can have it.
You can have that crap, huh?
What's wrong with you to live somewhere like that? Yeah.
That's where I grew up. Yeah, well, Michigan, Minnesota. Did you hear that, David? My friend just said you have to have something wrong with you to live up there.
What now?
I'm telling him that what you said. Just in case he missed it.
Let me tell him.
Just in case he missed it.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
I don't know if he's still watching.
You're crazy for living in Quebec.
Don't take it on, David. Don't take it on. Everybody loves Canadians. Everybody loves Canadians. We think you're nuts for living up there, but everybody loves you. I was born in Ontario, right? I told you that, right? Hamilton. All my cousins. Minutes, hour and 25 minutes maybe. Krispy Kreme. And I'm just about. Painted in green. Let's outline these two. It is time for some white paint. Blew up the sky. Local color. That's a fruited tone. Fuzz layer is openly, so it's very transparent. A little bit. And then graduate to a white, and that's too wet. Okay.
I brought you a bottle of water.
I already drank one. Fuzz layer. I think I wanted the sky fading to light coming through the trees down here. Okay, now I want to do a stoplights or go lights, as is the case here. Painting in just a few minutes. Star of the show is that sign. Nailed down a few more subtle. And you see what I mean by a soft edge, right? Line, so to speak. Right, is that sweet? That is sweet, isn't it? Sweet looking. Too wet. So I do have two red things that are going to be glowing. Sign, hot now sign, which is red. It's right in here. And the other announced, of course. And the final layers. Sense up here, up here. Good enough. Now it's time. And the first, there will be a pale or whiter. So let's get those. Some reflection of those. Sign, glow. I'm gonna move this. The lights come on here. Warm that up a little. Now it looks so much like I'm ruining this painting at this point, doesn't it? It's happened more than once. But just the last two steps. Degree. Almost ready to launch into the last two steps. Been on these signs. Down here, oh, I know, it's going to do some tail light down here as well. So, the backside of these cars. Sure. Thanks. Yep. Well. Yeah, I've added a couple. Time out here while I sharpen a couple of pencils. That's what all my paintings are. Now I'm into oils, definitely. Acrylic underneath and oil on top. Yep.
That makes sense because really talented.
Thank you.
And your work is
I'm Dan Nelson. You are?
Gaynell.
Hi, Wilson, right?
Wilson.
You know, it's funny. My last name is Nelson, and I grew up in Michigan. And as a first grader, I thought, there's no T in it. So evidently, I don't know if it's a northern or a southern thing. You met in the middle.
Yeah.
There you go.
You ended up in the middle. So after all of that glow, I often feel like it's appropriate to come in and do some final scratching because the glow is extremely smushy, right? And the pencils are here because I like the interplay between the glow and the soft. So if I finish this layer, there'll be two D-O-U-G-H. There we go. After this layer, there'll be a little bit too much pencil, but don't worry because
you have a dominant hand, or you?
I do definitely. Yeah, I draw with my left hand.
I was watching something the other day, and they were making people use.
That's right.
You've got to think harder.
It does something. I'm not sure what it does, but
You've got to think to control it.
yes.
And then you realize you don't have much control.
That's-
You've got to think harder. We're right-handed, or
First started about 10 or 12 years ago, I was the most non-ambidextrous person you know. And my left hand, now not more control. As you can see by my style, control is not the highest value in my painting got better immediately, even though my left hand could hardly, you know. Now I am.
it's both hands all the time.
Yeah. Now sometimes, like when I'm doing, even when I do it.
My story long time, I was in high school, I would play baseball. One day he said, okay, everybody who's left-handed, but right-handed, everybody's right-handed. It felt awkward, but it
Are you
it started
serious?
to work, and it worked. And I think the whole team kind of elevated.
Oh
All he did
my
was-
goodness. Amazing. Huh. No, that's surprising. Two very different things.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
Ever since he did that, I've tried to do things left-handed.
Yeah.
I will try to
I'd say that now that I've forced my left hand to paint and draw, better than my right hand, but way better than I used to.
Yeah. Oh,
Way
yeah.
better than I used to. Isn't that funny? With your non-dominant hand. And I believe it, because when I'm painting with two hands, it might just be my imagination, but I feel like my brain feels different. You know?
I think you've got to put more connection
Something,
through the brain
yep.
to that left hand, yeah.
In fact, what makes me think that the most is when I do paint with just my right, like sometimes I'll be holding a phone and doing like this, drives me nuts. It's like, whoa, after a few minutes, it just so,
Now,
yeah.
my brother's left-handed,
Uh-huh,
but I don't know the answer to the question. Maybe you do.
yeah.
Are we born with a dominance?
I think we are. I think we are, yeah.
I wondered if a parent forced a child.
No, well, back when we were kids in school, you know, they would try to force left-handed kids to work with their right, and now they're all in counseling.
Yeah, yeah.
The ones that are still alive.
I teach calligraphy. I actually don't teach it anymore.
Are you serious?
I can't
Are
teach
you
landscape.
serious?
Teach calligraphy.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Left-handed, tough because you write.
Yeah.
With your left hand, you're dragging across wet ink.
Yes.
So
Correct.
It is hard to do.
So you live here in Raleigh? I mean, Wilson, the second time I've said that tonight. Wow. And you teach calligraphy.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Jay Gallimore.
Gallimore? How do you spell?
Gallimore.
Got it.
Gallimore.
How about that? Well,
The best student ever was a left-hander, believe it or not, after all that.
No kidding.
When the class started, one of the earliest questions, I say, how many left-handers do I have?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I do calligraphy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Great.
And yeah. It's my hobby. No, right-handed. Yeah, no, I don't do calligraphy left-handed at all.
I couldn't do that.
That is great, Jay. I love it. And like I said, I'm not a professional. I actually have some videos out, me teaching calligraphy, but I try to make it abundantly clear that I'm not a master, but I'm a good teacher. And I feel like I watched a bunch of masters, and I feel like they were like way over everybody's head.
I'm nowhere
You
near
know?
that level.
It's like, come on, guy, bring it down to the lower level.
The vast majority of my students were elderly people because we go through the
Yeah.
community college here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And that's a challenge too because, believe it or not, old people are fixed in their way.
Believe it or not, you've heard that. That is funny.
Getting them, and the whole my whole approach is, however you've written heretofore, you've got to.
That's
set
right.
that aside.
That's right.
They can't do that.
No, isn't it funny? People, when they see me doing calligraphy or we talk about calligraphy, what's the most common response you get is like, "Oh, my handwriting is terrible," and what do you say? No, this has nothing to do with your handwriting. My handwriting's terrible too.
No, we write little things for Christmas. We write little word puzzles for people to figure out before they can open the present. I get to write it. Lynn was telling me today, write it so they can read it. And I teach calligraphy, but this is my handwriting.
Isn't that funny?
It is funny.
It's like it's a completely different part of your brain again. It's just like,
It is. Well, it's almost writing, it's drawing.
yes, right. In fact, just this week, honestly, just this week, I've in my thinking about teaching art. I teach art a lot, and I teach online all the time when I'm painting. And I came to realize that in my teaching up to this point, I have downplayed. I haven't given enough credence to what I call skill. Now, most people say, "Well, this is a skill," and I said, "No. This is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and skill. Skill is stuff you do with your body, with muscles.
Skill is raw.
Skill is something you have to do with practice. Like I can.
But skills are raw. You got to develop them.
You got to develop them, exactly. And I don't think in my teaching that I've given enough weight, because I'll do something and I'll say to my students, "Now do this," and they can't do it. And calligraphy was my example of skill. I mean, calligraphy is 90% practice, like a golf swing. I'm not a golfer, but you know, it's like a golf swing. You can't read a book about it. That won't do you much good.
And that's what I used to.
Now, where was the Canton station?
the Canton, I don't know.
Oh, well, you're doing the one on Hillsborough, right?
No, this is the one on Peace Street.
Peace. Okay.
There's a Shell right behind us, or
Okay.
I think it's a BP now.
Well, the original.
Really? On Hillsborough?
The original Dunkin' Donuts was on Hillsborough Street, and it was right beside.
Oh my
Canton
goodness!
Station.
No kidding.
Yes. And as a little girl, that's what we did. We'd go
Oh,
visit
my
some friends
goodness.
in Raleigh, sit
Yeah.
overnight, and then in the morning we'd get up and we'd go.
Oh, fun.
And we'd have donuts, Krispy Kreme. I think that was the original Krispy Kreme on Hillsborough. Yeah.
This is the only remaining original. It's close to Peace College,
I
You-
know where that
you
is.
know, yeah.
It's on what street?
at the corner of Peace and Person.
Okay.
Yep.
I know where it is. So if you're going down Person, it's on the left.
If you're going north, do you do north-south? You're going away from downtown? It's on your
If
left.
I'm going away from the Capitol, it's on the left.
Yep.
I know where it is. So if you go down that way, you go to you can see Peace College, and also that's where Logan's is down there.
That's right. Yeah, this is close to Logan's. Exactly.
Pretty colors. I love the colors you pick.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now, this is the auction?
Yeah.
Trying to get it?
Yeah. Well, Jay, it's always fun to meet a fellow calligrapher.
It is, yes.
That's fun.
I haven't taught a class now in probably a year and a half. We cannot get a class together.
Oh, bummer.
I've got a strong competition with computers.
Yeah.
People can get a font and fill it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Calligrapher also.
Yep.
Left-handed
It's,
and right-handed.
I know.
Just sorry.
It's my hobby. I'm a professional artist, but calligraphy is a hobby. I'm pretty good. I'm better than the average, but I'm not. Ain't no master. I mean, you know, you can find these people on YouTube that are just inhuman. Like, what planet did you come from? They're fun to watch if you don't get depressed.
Don't think too hard about it.
Yeah.
Looking great.
Thank you.
Nice talking with you.
Likewise, Jay. I'll try to. Are you online? Can I find Jay Gallimore calligraphy?
Well, not calligraphy.
But just Jay Gallimore, I'll find you.
Find me, yeah.
Okay, good.
Take care.
Thank you. That's fun, fellow calligrapher. How about that? So you heard me say calligraphy is one of my hobbies. I love it. It's fun. It's one of the things I do to relax. Now, I've incorporated it often in my illustration career, but that's what I call commercial calligraphy. That is calligraphy that you can fix in Photoshop, which is completely cheating, of course. But I've done a lot of that. You can see that on my website, Dan Nelson Art, in the illustration page, on the illustration page. I bought a Isabey special brush the other day just to try it out. It's been a long time. I've had them before. It's been a long time. And I thought I should just try one. I think they're supposed to be good brushes. I'll let you know. The silver brushes are my favorite good quality bristles. I'm spending a lot of time here, and the expression I would use for what I'm doing right here, the expression I invented or stumbled upon earlier today is I am overdrawing. That is to say I'm drawing too much. That's meaning of the word over. I'm drawing too carefully. But I think there are times when this is the easiest way to do it is to overdraw, and then I'm going to come back later and mess it up, intentionally mess up, so that it will not have the appearance of being overdrawn. Using that double step technique, 2 steps. 1, draw it too carefully. Number 2, mess it up. Using that technique, for me, is the quickest way to get an accurate rendering. Like, for instance, the letters in this sign need to be fairly accurate, but not look like they were, overdrawn, over-rendered, over-fastidious. So I'm going to use this 2-step technique of, first of all, just painting it, and then coming back and messing it up. I'm going to switch to green here. I was thinking in the red, perhaps I should have painted the red first and then come back and did the white around it. Having said that, though, I am going to do that with this last word. Coffee, C-O-F-F-E-E. There we go. Enough of that. Back to the warm white. I'm using titanium white with just a little bit of yellow ochre in it to warm it up. And of course, all the white that I put in here is way too much the same color white, right? Again, I'm using a 2-step process for that as well, a different 2 steps. And that is, I put it down 1 color, and then I'll mix up a slightly lighter, brighter, whiter version of this color, and come back and touch up on top of it. Now I'm trying to decide, do I do the second layer of white first before I mess it up, or after? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to clean that up a little bit with the whiter white. There, that's looking good. Yeah. You will notice, I hope, that in the process of painting letters, at no point in this process have I slipped into penmanship. Many students make that mistake when they have letters or words in their painting. It's as if when they get to the words, they go, oh, I know how to do this part. And they switch brains. They get into their penmanship mind. They hold their pen or their brush the way they would a pencil. And they proceed to write their letters. And they stop painting and they start writing. I'm going to save these brushes because I think I'll be doing more of that color later. And in the meantime, let's come up here in this sign and do red. This sign right here, I think I want it not quite legible. The reason is, usually I say you want the writing in your paintings to be barely legible. But I think I'm going to make an exception in this case because in reality, this sign as it is barely legible. It's a very mid-20th century script. In my mind, not a terribly attractive script. It's a very distinctive, after World War II, hand lettering. I remember learning it myself way back in 1968 or so, when I was a kid. I had a book, a speedball book, and it still had some of that middle of the 20th century influenced letters in it. And I remember even as a kid, I think that lettering's not very pretty.
You talk to them?
Pardon?
You talk to them?
No, I didn't. I did not. I should. I've painted them 6 or 8 times, I think.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Okay, so you know what's happening here, right? I'm doing all the same color red, right? Which is sort of a disaster waiting to happen, right? So I need to come back with a slightly lighter version of that, adding some white and adding some orange to that. And now we come in and do, that's not light enough. We do lighter on top of that, and then everybody be happy. There. It almost doesn't matter where you put these light highlights. They don't have to make logical sense, in my opinion. Put it anywhere and it'll look good, as long as it's on top of what you just put down. Yeah, see, that looks so much better. Now let's come in here, same thing. I'm surprised at how much lighter I'm having to make this red to achieve the effect. More than usual. Usually, as I say, it's just slightly lighter than what you put down a few minutes ago. But I'm breaking that rule right now and making it noticeably brighter than the first color red that I put down. All right. Almost done. Almost done with the sign. I think I want to come back. Whoops. Let me go to the white brushes that I've saved over here. I want to do just a few touches of even brighter white on these letters here and there. That might be good enough. Okay, for the moment, I'm going to call the sign done. Let's move on to other things. Let's go to the sky now. Mixing up titanium white and yellow ochre. That's going to be too bright. Sorry, that is just too bright. Let's start with something slightly darker. We can always come back and lighten it up a little bit if we need to. I'm not liking that so well. Too busy, me. Yeah, that's better. Pardon me while I paint with my fingers for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and mix some phthalo blue with that. And come up here and do some dull blue, slightly dirty phthalo blue. Yeah, that might work. Deciding to bring the blue down a bit further into this yellow. I've added some ultramarine to my brushes here for the more purplish, darker sky up here. Define that telephone pole just a little bit, and the power lines just a little bit. Okay, that might be good enough up there in the sky. I'm going to leave it for right now. Perhaps come back in a little while and do more. While I'm up there, though, I want to go ahead and do those, the green traffic lights. Let's add some more green glow.
Everybody says everybody's got it.
All right. Go. And then in the middle of that green glow, first of all, pale green. And in the middle of that, just a touch of white or very close to perfectly white. There. So it looks a little bit like a green light that's glowing.
Now he's got
You know what I need to do? I have people watching me here, sort of patiently waiting for the parts of the painting that they're going to be more excited about. I'm going to skip down and get some of these. So the sign is done, that's good. But some of the things that will make this painting really pop are the lights, the headlights and the tail lights of these cars. So let's go ahead and they can't visualize that. They don't know that this is what's going to happen. I know it's coming. I know it'll look great, but they don't. So let's go ahead and do it. So there's two headlights. With me? And over here are some tail lights. And I am out of paper towels. That's a bit of a problem. I've got some already.
Oh.
But I need, are there any Kleenex, not Kleenex, napkins?
Yeah.
Not fancy ones, go like this.
Paper towels in the bathroom.
Thank you, Nancy wife. And I have 3 bottles of water down there. Behind my easel. Okay, hot now. Reflecting on the trunk of that car.
Is that enough? No.
That'll do for a little while, thanks. Okay, now we come in with very pale, very, very pale yellow in the middle of those red lights. Thanks, baby.
It's up to 600.
Oh, good. Okay, now people can begin to see some of the magic lighting that is supposed to be reflected in this nice painting. So now I can move on to normal stuff. Let's really push the golden sunlight hitting this side of the building. Here's an irony. The more that an object is bathed in sunlight, especially if it's an evening sunlight, the less detail you have to worry about. Isn't that funny? The more you want it to appear like it's just glowing in that wonderful golden evening light. Well, the more glow there is, the less detail there is. So I'm hoping that I can just pull off this side of this building with truly a minimum of explanation. Just all glow. All glow, no explanation. See, I'm almost done. And then I want to bring some reflection. I'm not sure if it's raining or if this is just incidental reflection. It's looking more and more like it's raining, isn't it? That's all right. As I say often, we're human beings. We're funny people. We don't typically like to be caught in the rain ourselves, but we love seeing paintings of other people caught in the rain. I think of the turn of the century, the last century, the French street scenes, with all those rainy, wet sidewalks. Classic. We don't like to get caught in the rain, but we like to see French people caught in the rain. And then some reflection on the bottom of these signs. That'll be nice. All right, there we go. All right, painting just starting to come alive now. A sliver of light between the telephone pole and the post holding up this sign. There we go. Now I don't like that cool stuff there at all, so I'm just going to cover that up completely. All right, the more glow, the less explanation. So 3 cheers for lots of glow. I'm gonna go, before I go any further though, I'm gonna go back and do my always trick. So as you can see, I've applied pretty much the same color yellow gold over all this area. So that's a weakness. Our eye does not like to see that mundaneness, that monotony, that repetition, but at fixing it is a piece of cake. You just mix up a batch of the same color, slightly lighter, and come and here and there and here and there, paint on top of what you just put down. And in just a few strokes, every little thing gonna be all right. As I like to say. I like to say it just that way too. Thank you, Bob Marley. See, isn't that sweet? Almost no explanation down here. I would like you to have the impression that those are cars lined up. Now, I almost don't, I'll come into it a tiny bit more, but not much. I almost don't care if you can't make out the cars. I would like you to have the impression that those are cars lined up. And you get that mostly just from this pair of headlights in the front. Then you go, oh, I guess that's a car. Then you see the red, and I guess those are taillights. And that's good enough for me.
It looks like I'm gonna have to get you to do one special for me. the price is going way up.
Yeah, well, good.
It's good. It's good. They ain't finished yet. There's two heavy hitters.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it.
I ought to walk right up there and put another $20 on one.
Yeah, yes, you should. Hello. Good to see you again. I decided I sort of jumped ahead and said, I better start putting some magic on this thing because I know it's going to have magic in it, but if I wait till the end, everybody else, so that's what I said, let's get some magic in there right now. Okay. So that's what that is.
So all we're doing the magic now.
Yeah, the light, the reflection.
The reflections.
Yep. The hot light. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Now that I've done that color though, let me come back up here in the sky. All that sunlight needs to be coming from somewhere, and it's coming from the sky, of course. So it's ironic not to have any of that color up here in the sky. So let's do some of that. Yeah, that might be enough. All right, I think the next thing that will help people see what's going on is a little bit of architectural explanation on the front side of this building. The front of the building is all glass with these brushed steel or aluminum dividers between all the windows. A big part of what makes this building recognizable to all the old timers that have been there. And all this, of course, is in the shade, so I've switched over to a cool blue-ish, but it's a very warm blue because it's reflecting all the warmth behind me here, behind us, behind the viewer. There we go. Pardon? It's 18 by 20. No, 18 by 24. Are we still there? Yep. Okay. Now, I think if I can explain this part of the building up here, likewise, that will help people understand what's going on. We're doing a silent auction of the painting, by the way. And the price is up to $600, so that's not too bad. Nope, that's a little too bright, isn't it? I shouldn't have tried such a big jump from where it was. So let me. The problem there is I'm removing several layers. All right, let's try this color. K R E M E. Oh, and then there's a, on this sign, there's a line underneath. Let me go ahead and rough that in. Oh, look what just happened to me. Fortunately, this is one of my old tuck shirts. My goodness. Talk about putting your face in it. Look at that. That's the last time I'm wearing this shirt. Krispy. There we go. Good enough, close enough. P. I should have done the dot on the I. There we go. There we go. Now all of that, of course, is significantly overdrawn. I'll come back in a little bit and mess it up just about where I want it. Almost legible. All the locals, so to speak, can tell what that says because they know what it says. And this down here says America's favorite donuts. America's favorite donuts. F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. Donut. D-O-U-G-H-N-U-T. And then America's. I'll do this one in reverse. S-A-C-I-R-A-M-E. Yeah, there we go. America's favorite donut. Good enough. Close enough. Now, this is a nice neutral color that I have on my brush right here, so I think I want to use it to define some of this stuff down here in the foreground. Now, if I put just a little bit of color on those two people there, just a little bit of color, I think that'll be enough indication. And first color I'm going to put on them is blue. Blue on the woman and blue on the man's legs, as if maybe blue jeans, the ubiquitous American blue jeans. Not just America, is it? It's all over the world. And on the man, what color? Perhaps green. And again, they are a little bit overdrawn. Maybe not. And let's do the dog brown. Anybody watching? It says there's somebody watching. Sorry I'm missing all your comments, folks. My monitor system is kaput here, where we don't have a steady internet. I will work on that because there'll be many times that I don't have a steady internet. I just don't know how to do my iPad well enough that I can fix it without taking a long break from you. So. Oh, I'm too close to the camera, did somebody say? Does something happen when I physically get close to the camera? David suggested that earlier, Turner. Is that still happening? That would be a profound mystery, if that's true. Okay, let's mess that up a little bit. Let's mess up the Krispy Kreme stuff up here just a little bit. There, that's probably enough. And now I can come in with a slightly lighter version of this buff brown, beige, tan, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's nice, eh? That works now. Same thing down here. A little bit lighter version. Sorry about the technical difficulties tonight, folks. I was loving my technically unglitchy morning with you guys, but now we're back to our old tricks of having difficult issues. I have a brush over here that has white paint still on it. And I definitely need to, there we go. All right, I feel like most of the huffing and puffing is over. What time? Oh, good, 7:25. I'm doing okay. Started at about 10 minutes to 5. Been painting pretty steady and fast ever since. Let's do some green on this very distinctive green roof on this Krispy Kreme. I imagine that all the Krispy Kremes had green roofs. I don't know. Probably. Looks like a company color. Yeah, that's probably enough. Cover up as little of the underpainting as you can possibly get away with. Now, where the sun is hitting this roof, it's a very intense pea green kind of something. It's all right for the first layer. Now let's mix up a slightly lighter version of that. Yeah. It's a nice color. Can I squeeze more of it in somewhere else? In the painting, maybe on this guy's jacket. Yeah. A bit of green down here. A hint of green right there. Let's go back to the shady side of this. Oh, thank you.
I was over there earlier saying that is my favorite of everything I've seen in your painting over there. And somebody said that's him over there. I've never seen anyone with your technique.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that. No, I started painting. I started forcing myself to use two hands about 10 or 12 years ago, late in life. Now I think everybody should do it. Thank you.
I wish my brother-in-law was here. I always go, yeah, my brother-in-law's a painter, and they owns a business where they truly do paint brush strokes. They paint homes and businesses.
Oh yeah,
When he goes home, he paints
paintings. No kidding.
And he doesn't sleep very well, so 3 hours in the morning he goes to the studio and he paints. And I'm like, my gosh, my brother-in-law would
Yeah.
love
Oh, sweet. I am. That's right. I'm on YouTube right now. So here, take a card and
Please
tell them to watch me. There's a link on that website to my YouTube channel.
Love this. Can I have two? I'll have one.
Pardon?
Can I take 2 cards?
Oh, absolutely. Take a dozen.
Dear, it's a pleasure.
Thank you. Well, there you are, and I understand you're healthy.
I am.
Praise the Lord. Thank you. Amen. Good. Oh, thank you.
Where's that one at?
It's in Raleigh. Yeah. I'm close. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I went to church every Sunday night, and we went to Krispy Kreme in Greensboro. My dad always made bacon and egg sandwiches, and that reminded me of that.
How fun. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, that's like a beautiful photograph.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm close, though. I might be to the point where some artist has to slap me.
Step away from the camera.
Exactly. Very close, very close. Oh, I know. I want to do try to do a hint of the names of these streets. Is that legal, do you think? If I do the names of the streets up here, that'd be okay? Okay, this is, I might even be able to scratch it. That would be, ooh, that'd be nice. There, that says peace. I don't expect you to read it. And this says person. Person. There, and then just follow up with a tiny bit of paint on top of that.
My foot surgeon lives right across from there.
Person. Now let's come up here, negative paint. Now this street, this sign, I really would, if at all possible, I really would like it to be legible. Because it's the word peace. I mean, lots of imagination. I don't know if I can. Don't know if I can do it. The funny thing is, in reality, the letters on this sign are upper and lower case. I'm just making them all uppercase to try to make them a little bit more legible. I hope nobody will notice.
Little Peace Street.
Yeah, I would like it if it was legible because it's just such a great word.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I'm just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, trying to make it slightly more legible each time. P-E-A. There we go. Now that might be legible enough. Oh, it is. It's almost too legible now after all that. All right, mess it up just a little bit. Won't mess it up too much. Clean it up a little bit. It's a real delicate balance. That's what you're seeing here, is trying to capture that perfect balance between painterly and legible. Normally, I wouldn't worry about it being legible at all, except I'm thinking the title of this painting might be Krispy Kreme Peace or something. Maybe not. It might be too corny. It doesn't matter. I don't have to come up with a title for it. It's selling tonight anyway. There. Yeah, good enough. Okay, now let me just look really at the background, the sky and this thing, to make sure I'm happy with that. Oh, and I'm about to lose everything with my phone is on 4% battery. Well, tell you what, I'll just keep going until it quits. Used up all my battery packs tonight, believe it or not. Here we go. No, are we still broadcasting? We are, okay. Well, as I said, I'll just let it go till it runs out of gas and all my power is gone. Thank you for joining me tonight for fast painting. How many hours? Not quite 3 hours yet. So that's a fairly fast painting. I have had to do faster, but I don't like it. That's about as fast as I choose to do. Okay, tell you what, and again, I'm liable to lose you any minute here, so let me tell you where I'm planning to go from here. I'm going to do some, whoops, just lost you. I was going to say broken color.